Hi, my name is Sarah. My channel is knottygnome Crafts, and it's time for another Friday Sews. Today in Friday Sews, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the projects that I finished this week. I'm going to share with you what I am working on and my plans for what I'm going to do next. And then at the end, I'll have a little bit of life chat. So I am going to be talking about what I am wearing today because it's one of the things that I did this week. So I'll get to that. But the first thing I think I want to talk about is my True Bias Nico top. So I think in the last episode I had been working on that top. I had cut it out and I did go ahead and sew it up. And I will insert some footage of me just wearing the basic top, like not styled, so you can see how it looks and the length and everything. For me personally, I would probably always tuck this top in. It did turn out to be a little bit long for me, and so after I finished it, I did go ahead and alter the pattern to shorten it by 2 inches at the length and shorten line, so that my next versions will be a little bit shorter. I made the size 2, and I shortened the sleeves by 4 inches. However, I decided at the end, you're supposed to do 1-inch hems, and I decided that I didn't need it to be the hem to be quite that deep, so I just did a 5/8 inch hem, and I think that that length is pretty perfect on me. The fabric that I used is a viscose rib knit that I got from Knitpop, and I just love the color of it. It's a beautiful burgundy wine color, and I've already worn this top a couple of times. I like it that much. I really do like the Nico pattern. I've made it 2 other times, although this was my first long sleeve turtleneck version. And I just have a feeling that I'm going to be making that pattern again and again this winter because it's just a turtleneck top is just such a basic staple for me that I think that I can probably whip up several in different colors and I'll get a lot of wear out of them. The next thing that I made was the men's Hudson pants by True Bias for my husband out of a cotton spandex French terry that I got from Knitpop in this olive green color. And here are the finished pants. I don't have a picture of him wearing these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get one, if I'm gonna be honest. I'll ask him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he declines. But I'll at least like lay it out and take a flat lay to post to Instagram. But yeah, these are really quick and easy to sew up. I did check with him before I made this pair because I made him 2 other pairs several years ago. And he said that his original pairs were like 1 inch too short, so I went ahead and lengthened the pants by 1 inch, and I can't even remember what size I made for him. I want to say it was like the 34 or the 36. I'll try to look it up and put it on the screen, but at any rate, they fit him really well. They seem really comfortable. I think that he'll enjoy wearing them, and so that was quick and easy to sew, and so I'm glad that I went ahead and made him these pants. So after I finished that project, I cannot remember right now whose videos I was watching, but I was watching someone on YouTube that was doing some refashions, and it just sort of sparked in my memory of like, oh yeah, I have a couple of things that I wanted to fix that had been in my basket of stuff to deal with later. So I pulled out 2 things, and the first one was this dress. This is the Bryn McCall's dress. I think it's M8035, but I'll put the pattern cover up on screen in case that's wrong. And I had made this out of an Essex cotton linen blend. And there were a couple things that I didn't love about this dress, but the main thing that was wrong with it is that originally I made the elastic in the sleeves to fit my wrist, but as you can see, these sleeves don't actually, they're 3/4 length sleeves, so the elastic was way too tight. It like cut in on my arm and it was very uncomfortable. So I hesitate to even call it a refashion because it was such a simple thing, but I just cut out the old elastic, cut new elastic that was wider, and then put it back in. And this time I decided not to make it tight to my arm at all. I just made it like nice and loose, and so it does like kind of hang and it does move more freely. And I actually like that. And the other thing that I didn't love about this dress is that, so I've worked with this fabric before because I used to use it a lot in quilting. And so I do know that over time it does soften up the more that you wash and wear it. But originally it is pretty stiff. So this isn't my favorite dress because it's still quite stiff. I've tried to like wash and dry it a few times to get it to soften up, and it is starting to soften up, but it's still not the most comfortable dress to wear. So I don't know how much use I'm gonna get out of this dress, even though I did fix the elastic in the wrists or in the sleeves. But I'll just have to see. I am wearing it today at least, and it's relatively comfortable. And I'm also wearing it with a shawl that I made. And I apologize, I've just reached the stage in my knitting journey where I've made too many things. I cannot remember for the life of me what this pattern was called. I know it was a free pattern, and I also can't remember the yarn that I used. I know that it was 2 different mini skein sets that I got at a knitting show in Pennsylvania. It was in Pittsburgh. It was a very small show, and I dragged my husband there over like a long weekend. We went to Pittsburgh, and I went to that show, and I know I bought the yarn there, but I can't remember who the dyer was, and I can't remember what the pattern was. If I can figure it out, I'll put the information in the description box. But I do really like this shawl because it's kind of like an autumn rainbow color progression, and there's different colored yarns, like not just the solid is a rainbow, but the speckles are also a rainbow, and I just really like that about it. But yeah, anyway, I can't remember any more details than that, but like I said, if I can find it, I'll put it in the description box. So I did refashion this dress, and then I also did another refashion, and I wore it yesterday, so I don't have it here to show you, and I don't have photos yet either. But as I said, you should follow me on Instagram because I do post my pictures there pretty regularly. And if you don't want to follow me on Instagram, eventually it will show up in a monthly makes video. But my other refashion was I had made this Vogue dress. I think it's 1734, but I'll put a pattern cover in case I don't remember the number. I made it in July, and it was a wrap dress that did not fit well, and I altered the sleeves to make them longer, and then I decided that I didn't like it. And so long story short, I decided to turn it into a skirt. So I separated the bodice from the skirt, and then I cut a new waistband piece, and I just did an elastic waistband, so it's a pull-on like faux wrap skirt. And I actually really like how it turned out. A lot of my refashions, as I said, like even after I changed them up, I don't always wear them, but this one I think I am really going to wear. I wore it yesterday to work, really liked it, and I wore it with tights and boots, and I think I'm going to wear it a lot in the summertime too, with like flat sandals and like a tank top. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I'm sorry that I don't have a picture of it, but like I said, check my Instagram in the coming week, and I should have a picture of it then. So after I finished those refashions, I went ahead and cut out something new, and I'm not quite finished with it yet, but I'm almost finished. So I am making the Simplicity 2184 skirt. This is an older pattern in their collection, but I bought it this year, probably in the fall. And it's just a simple series of elastic waist skirts. And there's basically 2 different versions. You can do this version, which is cut on the bias, and then you can do this version, which is cut on the straight grain, but it has gores. And then the only other difference is the different lengths, I think. So I made view A, but I did have to shorten it quite a bit, so it's really kind of in between A and B. And I made the size 10, and the fabric that I used is a rayon from Stylemaker Fabrics. It's this kind of abstract leopard print, and the background is like a charcoal gray, and then it has these magenta and white and black accents. So I think that this fabric is really pretty, like I like it, but it's been in my stash for a while, and when I pulled this out, I kind of regretted the fabric choice because I just feel like, even though I think it's pretty, I don't think it's really me. And so I decided to make a skirt with it because I just feel like it would be a little bit more versatile to wear it as a skirt rather than a top or a dress, because I could wear a plain top or something that's a little bit more me, like one of my turtlenecks, for example, and tuck it into the skirt. And I just think that outfit is more my style than if I made a top out of this, if that makes any sense. So this skirt was very easy to construct. As I said, these panels are cut on the bias, and so I have not finished it yet. I finished it completely except for the hem, and I wanted to let the hem drop for a week just to make sure that it's not going to be uneven. So that's why I haven't completely finished it yet. I did go ahead, because it is cut on the bias, I went ahead and cut it and sewed the whole thing in one day, just because I didn't want it to sit there and like let it have the potential for stretching out. So it was a really quick sew except for the hem. There's no pockets, So there is something about this pattern that like, I'm not sure if there's a mistake in the pattern, or I think there is a mistake in the pattern, but I'm not sure if I fixed it correctly. So you have the panels, because you have a center front seam and a center back seam. So there's 4 different panels that get sewn together. And the notches do not match on the pattern pieces, because on the front piece it says like this is the center front and it has a single notch. But on the back piece, on the side seam, is a single notch. And so if I did it the way that it's written on the pattern, where they're marking what the center front and the center back is, then the notches wouldn't match, if that makes sense. So I constructed it where the notches match. But I'm not sure that that was right, because this does, like, I don't know if you're not going to be able to tell in this, me just holding it up, but it hangs a little bit funny. Like, it's just a little bit awkward when you hold up the skirt, the way that it drapes and then it falls. It just looks a little bit weird. So I'm not quite sure if maybe I put it together the wrong way. Like, I should have ignored what the notches said, and I should have followed the instructions that were written that said center front. I don't know, but there's just something about it. It looks a little weird. I haven't tried this on in a while. I tried it on like right when I finished it, but I haven't tried it on since. So I want to say that when I put it on, it doesn't look as weird, but just when it's hanging up, like especially towards the bottom, there's just something about the way that it drapes that it looks odd. So I am going to finish this. I do think that I'll wear it, but I'm not sure that I'll make this pattern again, because I'm just not sure if it's drafted correctly. But it's a shame, because I do really like the idea of it, because it's an elastic waist. I've been wanting to make some more elastic waist bottoms in case of weight fluctuations, and it's a relatively slim fit through the hips, and so it kind of, when it's on, it kind of looks like a slip skirt, but it's just, you know, it's a pull-on skirt, so it's a little bit easier to wear. So I do really like the idea of it. I'm just not sure if the execution is there. But I'm going to wait to pass judgment until I hem it and then wear it once and decide if I like the way that it drapes or not. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. And I did have to put in a tag. This is just left over from a needle sharp box. I normally do not like putting tags on my clothes, but I had to for this, because there's absolutely no way to tell, not just from the back from the front, but you can't tell the sides from the back and front either, because it is this like 4-panel thing. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. I should have that finished by next week. I just want to let it hang on my dress form for a few more days before I finish up the hem. So actually, I do have one more finished item that I forgot to mention. So it was after I did that skirt. I decided to make my dog Penny a t-shirt. My dog is a pit bull mix, and she gets very cold. She basically has very, very little fur on her underbelly, and I live in a cold place. So when the temperatures drop, she gets really cold and she shivers and she wants to cuddle up under blankets. And even inside the house, she gets cold. So I just wanted she has some knitted sweaters that I've made her in the past. But the thing about those is that I think they're a little bit too warm. She's kind of like me. If you put wool on her, like, it seems nice at first, but after a few hours, it's like, oh my God, get this off me, it's too hot. So I wanted to sew her something that was a little bit lighter. And over Black Friday, I bought some patterns from Green Style Creations, and they had an offer where, you know, if you made a purchase of a certain amount, then you get a free pattern. And one of their free patterns was called like the Pet Warmer, I think. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put the pattern cover up on the screen. And it was just like this very simple, like basically it's a t-shirt for your animal, your cat or your dog. It comes in a variety of sizes, and it doesn't take a lot of fabric. For Penny is she's a medium-sized dog, but I guess she's a chesty girl. She has a lot of girth up top. And so I did have to make her the size extra large. And I think that size is supposed to take about 5/8 of a yard of fabric. So I had some leftover bamboo cotton French terry from Emma One Sock. I'm actually super thrilled that I bought that fabric because I ended up getting so much mileage out of it. I ended up getting 4 loungewear pieces for me out of it, and then I also made my dog a t-shirt, so best fabric ever. So anyway, I used some of that for the main body, and then for the edges, for the trim, I just went ahead and used a little bit of cotton spandex jersey from Style Maker that's in a leopard print. I just thought it looked cute with the color contrast and just another way to use up some scraps. And I had made a t-shirt out of that earlier this summer, and I had a little bit left over. So I can't show it to you right now because she's actually wearing it, but I did take several pictures that I'll try to put up on the screen so that you can see what it looks like on. She seems to really like it, although when I put it on her at first, I don't know, she got like really energetic and decided it was time to play tug of war. I don't know, it just made her like over enthusiastic about it, I think, but she has since calmed down, and the last time that I saw her, she was actually lying down in it and she seemed comfortable. But yeah, I really like how that turned out. I don't know if I'll make her more of them. I might, because she does get cold. And the other thing about having a t-shirt as opposed to a knitted sweater is that they're easier to wash because I can just throw it in the washer and dryer for her. I don't have to worry about like hand washing wool because who wants to do that for a dog? So that was the final thing that I finished. I actually just did that this morning. It was really fast. I think it took me like an hour and a half to make it, like print out the pattern, tape it together, cut it out, put it together for her. So yeah, I'm not ruling out that making another one for her eventually, but we're just going to start with one and see if she likes it. So that was all the things that I finished this week. So talking about what's coming up next, I think that I want to go back to more loungewear. So the thing about the loungewear is that although I do get dressed every single day, even on the weekends and even when I'm not going into the office, I do try to, put on a full outfit every day because I just find it's good for my mental health and to have that routine. But when I come home from work or when my work day is over, usually what I do is I do some kind of workout and then, I shower and then I change into loungewear because it's just more comfortable. So I do spend quite a lot of time in my loungewear pieces. I wear them very frequently. And so because of that, although I do have quite a few pieces now, I kind of get sick of them after a while because I'm just wearing the same stuff week after week after week. So I've been thinking that I wanted to expand my loungewear collection a little bit more, just to give me some more variety. And I just remembered that I forgot to grab the fabric, so I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. So I had gone to Joann's on Black Friday and I picked up this fabric, and I think it's a poly rayon spandex blend. It's a French terry, and I bought 3 yards of it because I wanted to do a whole loungewear set. And these are not my typical colors, and to be honest with you, I'm not even that much of a tie-dye person, but I think I was probably inspired by Michelle from Michelle Sews Again because she's the tie-dye queen. And I just thought that these colors were fun, even though they're not my typical colors. And for loungewear, I can wear whatever I want. I don't feel like I necessarily have to wear only the colors that are the most flattering to me. Like, I can wear something fun if I want to. So I got these, even though it's not something I would typically gravitate towards, but this like pastel-y, pinky purple, bluey, very girly. And I'm not 100% decided on the patterns yet, but I think what I'm going to make is a Megan Nielsen Jara sweatshirt. I've only made one of those, and I made the one with the funnel neck and the split hem sleeves, and I gotta say that's actually not my favorite. So I think the version I'm going to make just has the plain crew neck, and then I'm going to do the version that ties. And then for the pants, I'm going to do the Style Arc Como pants. I have made those pants once before, and this was before I had a very good understanding about my pants fitting journey, and the fit was really bad. I just think I didn't know what I was doing, and so even though I like the general shape of the pants, they're like an elastic waist, wide leg pant, and I really liked the overall silhouette, but they just didn't fit well because I didn't know what I was doing. So I want to just reprint a new copy of that pattern and start over. Try to fit it again to fit me now that I have a slightly better idea now of how to fit things. I think I'm ready to redo that pattern now, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think I'll just have a cute little loungewear set with the sweater with the tie at the bottom and then wide leg pants. And I think that's gonna work on next. I might change my mind, I'm not quite sure yet, but that is what I'm thinking about. So moving on to life things, the first thing I almost forgot to mention is I'm very excited that I actually signed up for my first ever sewing class. I follow the YouTube channel of Jennifer Stearns, and I'll link her channel in the description box below. And she knows a lot about fit. She does videos every week with just little tips and tricks about fitting, and I just learned a lot from her. I I used to be a member of Craftsy Unlimited like way back in the day, and I watched basically all of the sewing Craftsy classes, but I watched her classes on fitting and I found them very useful. And I found out from one of her YouTube videos that she's going to be doing a Zoom class through Fabric Mart on pants fitting in January. And I'm a little bit nervous and scared about it. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm just weird that way. But I think that I'm ready to like get some real like one-on-one instruction because, you know, learning how to fit pants for me has been kind of like fumbling around in the dark. And yeah, maybe I stumble on a few things here and there that are helpful, but I really just feel like I'd do a lot better if I had someone who knew what they were talking about guiding me. So I went ahead and signed up for the class. And then there's like a fitting workbook that she sells on her website that you also have to purchase that to participate in the class. So I did that. And yeah, I think the classes are towards the end of January. They're like 2 Sundays in January, and then you also get like a one-on-one Zoom instructional time also as part of that. So yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I am really excited, and I'm hopeful that I will come away with some more knowledge of how to better fit pants to my body, because I do have a lot of challenges in that area. And I will go ahead and link the class to the class listing in the description box, because I don't know if there's still spots open, but if there is and you're interested, I'll leave that link below. And I'm not affiliated or anything, I signed up for the class and paid for it with my own money and stuff. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is some life things. So I have to say that from now through the end of the year, I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to be able to film and even use my sewing machine and make things, because my husband has just started renovating our kitchen. And actually, if you've heard any loud banging sounds or anything going on, it's him. He's pulling up the floor right now downstairs. And so I am very, very fortunate and lucky that I have a husband who has like the knowledge and the experience that he can remodel our kitchen himself, because if you've ever owned a house and needed to remodel a kitchen, it can be very, very expensive. So the fact that he's doing it himself is going to save us thousands of dollars. But because it is just him, it's going to take a bit of time. So I don't know exactly how much time. I think that we're going to be eating a lot of takeout from now until we're finished with this project. And I've had to give up, I make it sound like I'm like sacrificing to the gods or something, but I've had to give up a little bit of my sewing space to make room for the stuff that was in the kitchen just temporarily while he's working on it. So I have less space, there's like chaos going on downstairs, the dogs get really upset when there's like loud noises and stuff, so I have to spend more time with them. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to affect my crafting or my filming or taking pictures or any of that kind of stuff. Not sure what's going to go down with that right now, because we did just get started. But of course it's a worthwhile thing, and I think I'm going to be so happy when it's finished and we have a lovely new kitchen. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to have to take things as they go and see what happens. So I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate, whether you're new or returning, that you take time out of your day to watch my videos. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will hit the like button, because it does help more people find my channel. And if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. I'll see you again next time.